in their wheelhouse for potentially trying to get massive early game leads. Tristana in mid to try to all in the Taliyah is a risky call though, as Taliyah will eventually be able to survive and deal with that pressure. You also have, you know, as HLE here, a weak point in this jungle because Wukong isn't going to be as impactful as a Sejuani is early.
It's going to be really difficult, but if Harmolife Esports can do it, that is a great start to this best of 5. Let's hop onto the Rift and see how it goes. You know, what if Viper and Life somehow manage to win as Zeri Rakan into Varus Karma? What if that happens?
Whenever he connects them, and when you get that free back off in a matchup like this, that is when you really start to see the damage fly, as you could see here, even the autos.
Kellen actually playing very aggressively. Deft not wanting to step too far forward. They didn't have a lot of information as to where Clid could have possibly been, and Deft kind of wanted to kill minions, as he does eventually get a couple of autos onto Viper there.
Like D+, we're so good at lane, as I'm going to have to hold my thought on this.
Yeah, that is going to be Warrior Trickster down already. Zeka gets inside track, but the wall is being put down. Clid still going to be able to steal away the Drake as Showmaker's flashing in. A little bit disjointed with the rest of the team as now Zeka dives in on top. Buster Shot comes down. Deft is going to flash immediately, but Zeka going to get flashed upon. Kellen still alive. No one's dead yet. This is just insane. And finally, Canyon's going to go down, and now Viper with no mana is still going to be able to get this done. It's a 2-0 in the river, and Zeri is popping off. Showmaker's going to go down as well, and Life collects that kill. Harmolife Esports 4D plus Kia to worry about, as there's the flash forward. Deft doesn't have his flash available as Viper just going to cleanse. He'll be absolutely fine.
God.
That's another one. That's a third for Viper. This man looks angry.
Oh, he looks angry, and this game is starting to get off the rails.
I mean, this is starting to get real dicey for D plus Kia. As Life going in again. Glacial Prison comes down to Kellen. May just, yeah, he's just dead. There's nothing they can do about it. That is Zeka getting online as well. And this is starting to get out of control. Second Drake to go over. I mean, insult to injury was the fact that Canyon wasn't even able to secure the Drake.
Yeah, I don't know if you fight this.
As he goes in, not going to be able to take this one either, as at least they're able to kill Live. Canyon able to flash himself away, but he still burns down. Seismic Shove connects this time as Kellen flashes on top of Clid. I don't know about that one, but he does manage to heal himself up. And there is the flash away from Deft as well. Not out of the woods just yet as Clid comes in, doesn't get the W, and the hail of arrows does come down. Seismic Shove avoided for now, but it's not quite enough. And Deft able to get one back. Throws for throws here. Because I thought that with the composition that D+ had, they would have no way of not having a huge lead in the mid game. As, oh dear, it's Clid, he's flanking, and he always is. As Kellen, he's going to go down. Zeka collects that kill. Now Showmaker,
man.
Yeah, I know, they are just getting this work done, and honestly, they're the ones that so many have had question marks about, but they're the ones performing so well. As Showmaker underneath this turret. Yeah,
Viper checks the wrong way.
Can he survive is the question. They get the knock up, he does immediately cleanse, and he's Zeri. So I don't know why we thought that that was going to go any other way.
Cleanse not usually very good against Wukong, but if you have the Zeri and she can just barely get onto that wall, you're going to be okay, as Clid's coming down for the counter gank with Life.
Yeah, they're just going to clear out the minion wave. Should just mean that this turret... Oh, okay, Canyon's going to stick around. Let's see whether Clid can survive this one, or whether Canyon can survive this one. The Inspire Shield comes in, but it's not enough. And Clid, he's on a leash, but Bristle's okay with that. She's a domesticated animal. Kingen also being able to get back into this lane in a pretty big way. I think, you know, map state says a lot about it. That is a Glacial Prison. Not a lot of follow-up, though, as Zeka dives in. The Cyclone not going to find any joys. Into the backline goes Kingen. All right. Okay, Harmolife Esports. What did you have for breakfast? I want some.
No damage, no vision whatsoever. Look at Kingen's play. I'm here. Bam.
Oh my god. That is probably one of the best casts I've seen in years.
So sick. He commits the flash and the cask and the teleport for it. But it's a destruction of a team fight. I wouldn't even call it a team fight at this point. It's just an obliteration.
And this is a blowout. This is just not even close in the slightest way. And as this game goes on, it just gets better for Harmolife Esports. As Deft is going to find Zeka. So Zeka is likely dead. Doesn't change the game state. Not a massive amount. All right, and Harmolife, they're going to accept the teleport and get out as Showmaker flashes. Body slam avoided, but now Viper's going in. Seismic Shove is decent, but it's not going to be enough to save his life. They get the prize, and now they can just back off towards his Baron once again.
As Kingan's actually setting up the flank, like they're looking to kill Kana. He's going to get the bounty, but at what cost?
Well, probably his life, I would say, as he just buys time. Kingan just going to play as defensively as he can, misses the body slam as Zeka almost dies. Oh my goodness. Maybe we need to play a little bit more aggressively there, Kingan, but it's okay. It's okay, Zeka will survive.
I think if you replay this one and D+ make a few different choices, it's a different scenario. We'll see if they can keep their heads on straight.
All right, Life gonna have to break his stopwatch. I don't know whether DK can even do anything about this. They do take down the Rakan. Hanwha still going to be pushing forward, and there are still inhibitor turrets. Inhibitors down, with 2 inhibitors down against a Baron buff. It's kind of crazy, especially if you're trying to defend the one remaining inhibitor turret, as Canyon is just caught in no man's land. He was looking for a flank angle, and he kind of found one, I guess, but it wasn't the right one.
It's a different scenarios. They do have Unsealed Smite.
Yeah, Deft is going to get cast. He's really dead, guys, but no, there's not. That's Exodia. And now the Dragon's Wrath is going to be felt. It is a triple straight out the gate here for the Zeri. As now Kingan trying to keep them in combat to try and get towards that pentakill, as Canyon is going to spawn. But DK, they know that this game is well and truly over. My goodness, Humble Life Esports. There were not a lot of people that thought that this was going to be the outcome of this game. And man, this team came to play today. All of a sudden, DK find themselves trying to fight back from a 0-1. I would agree. Let's have a look at the stats here. As you can see, Viper doing a whole bunch of work. Zeka doing a little bit more, but honestly, the damage stats don't really tell any of the story. You can see very linear gold graph for a composition that didn't have a lot of range, didn't have a lot of early priority, but they...
See a Taliyah come through.
This feels like Humble Life Esports doubling down. They're like, oh, you've got this early game draft? Well, you're just going to try and overplay your hand. We're going to pick up some accidental kills, but this time, we've got a Draven. If Draven picks up accidental kills, Humble Life Esports, the draft gap isn't even as large. Let's jump onto the rift here for game number 2. It's been a really long time. I think we were giving that out for free, like, at PAX in Australia, like a million years ago. I remember I used to give that to people.
So the early parts of this lane are going to be really hard. Now, in the first few team fights, though, where Viper could look for a cash-in, that's where the story changes.
Oh, that's an Ignite being used already. They get the cleanse out of Viper. Kind of huge here, as heal and cleanse both now down. And Clid going to have to be here babysitting this bottom side.
Yeah, and this means you're losing top and bottom.
Yeah, this is that 3v3 that you were talking about already. Viper forced out of the lane, and that is damage done. Like, that's it. Yeah, this bubble lands, but you now don't have access to your Draven, who's also going to miss out on all of that experience and gold. DK playing it out beautifully this time. And I think, you know, Deft had some real issues last time around. I'll hold that thought for a moment. Shomek going to accelerate himself for a minute.
Yeah, Life taking a huge chunk of damage here, and Clid can't do anything before level 6, so this should just be the Drake going over. And in fact, with the teleport from Zeka, Canyon's already started this up, and this time you win these. Like, there's no angle for HLE. Even with Taliyah having Weaver's Wall, you're so late to the party. Life has half health. He doesn't have setup CC. You know, if he bubbles, it's not going to win you the fight. Viper does so much damage at this point in time, but you don't have any sort of positional edge like they did the last time around
in this game.
And if Kingan had Ghost in this matchup, obviously alone here, he could try to make some plays here onto Kana, but he doesn't, and he shouldn't, because he's going to need that teleport for later team fights. You can see he just can't do anything. He can't pull Kana into the turret by getting behind him. He could have flashed for it, but then you have no flash, so it's just not worth it.
Yeah, and even then, like, maybe you just die. I don't know. It is very difficult. As Viper, now with full health, does have ebb and flow from life available. As Kellen, he's going to threaten, and there's the ultimate. The cleanse was already used, and Death now going to be able to throw these Qs through. Whirling Death comes down, but only going to get one tick onto Death now.
Did barely escape, as this is a matchup where things are getting out of hand very early, and they're even going to set up a dive with the Rift Herald. Kingan,
oh dear,
not getting out of this one.
Well, there's the flash, and immediately Ruthless Predator going to come down. That is going to be a very comfortable kill. First blood going over to Canyon. And I think that might be where Humble Life need to adapt their draft to give Oh, okay. Immediately Viper going to use his cleanse, as the culling going to be interrupted as well from the stand aside.
And Clid will just straight up die if he tries to hard engage. He has flash ult.
Well, Shirley gonna get some work done here as, okay, there's the flash in. Exactly as you say, Tidal Wave going to follow. And the Whirling Death doesn't really do too much. Clid going to be lit on fire and he's gonna have to run away. And I think this turret is also going to die anyway for Harm Life to get over there as Clid flanking as per usual. As the Weaver's Wall to come in. He's moving the wrong direction, but Kellen is just going to die. As now Kingen diving onto Deft here. What is going on in this river? This is very, very strange. The Whirling Death not available, and so it isn't going to be the Draven getting the kill, but that was odd.
It's an instant win if they get him, but they don't even have to get him necessarily. That's the pressure's on HLE for this one. They do have actually a little bit of prio setup, but look at Kana. He's roaming over, flanking over.
Yeah, Kingen could be in trouble here. Goes unstoppable. He's now used that, and the Cocoon is going to come forward. Clid finds the Cyclone onto Deft, but the Casante's already been taken out. Deft is going to avoid the Whirling Death as well, so no cash in for you just yet. Tidal Wave going to land, but it's only onto a Renekton as there's the culling. Just back off cooldown in time to guarantee the Cloud Soul and a couple of kills for D+ Gear. Yep. Try and lock this one down. Seismic Shove just to get that Siege minion in range. But the poke is real here. Siege actually pretty good just in general, as now Kana could be in trouble. The all-out does come through as, the interrupt from Kellen is so good as Zeka has to flash to get himself away. Slices, dices Kana. Can he stay alive? The answer is almost as he goes golden. The Whirling Death, can he get the cash in? The answer's no. Cull the Meat comes in again, and Kana is an immortal crocodile. The W gets pressed by the Sonar. He walks it out, and DK.
It almost feels like D+ are dragging it out, and maybe, if that's the case, maybe he did stopwatch on purpose, hoping that HLE would see it just for the BM, for the best of 5 mental boom, but I mean, this is just abysmal here for HLE.
How many does it take to kill Kana is the question, and the answer before was more than what Harm Life had. And Tidal Wave going to go wide here. Kana just moves back towards his Sona, who's going to heal him all the way back up. Inhibitor turret's going to go down, the inhibitor sure to follow as we're pre-30 minutes. 3 inhibitors are now down. There is not much more that DK could do to snowball this any further other than killing the Nexus. And now Kingen's going to be in trouble. Clid almost dead, just barely gets himself out. Double tap from the Light Slinger is going to come in as the wall is going to separate them. And the first Nexus turret will fall. This game, very different to what game number 1 was, but the blueprint remained the same. Pick for early game dominance, and DK show us exactly what they plan to do with it here, just 1 game late. Kana just having a good time, slicing and dicing through the Harm Life esports players as the Nexus will now go down. All out for Kingen, but he's all out of this game, and they are all out of chances. They do have the ability to come back, though, in game number 3. We're set up for a best of 3 now. And I need to apologize to you, Wolf, because I didn't believe. We came off the desk afterwards, and I'm just like, oh man, it's going to be so hard for DK to emotionally come back from that loss, right? Like, they had the right draft, still lost the game. Oh dear, but they...
And even though they picked this blind and it was an expectation that you're going to have the Cassante here, Kana's like, I don't care, I'm going to play the Cassante, and he's going to take Ghost here, or TP Ghost.
But can DK or Harm Life, which one is going to bring us to match point? Let's find out right now.
If the Lucian is just sitting on a Gale Force and isn't actually accelerated and isn't doing anything.
Most of the time.
Yeah, that's what we've talked about so much is, okay, going in.
Yeah, really getting over that wall. Try and get this one done. Already gets the heal out from Life.
Good spacing here from Deft, just on the edge of the turret, but using the wall aggressively here early. No one's really doing that in this matchup.
Should be able to get even.
And now Canyon's going to come over here. Canyon is just so good at this, so realizing, okay, my opponent's there. Oh my god, this is a disaster.
Yeah, this is not great as he flashes the bubble. And now Viper, can he actually survive? Winter's Wrath not doing too much here as Canyon kind of looking for everything, but he'll find it. That is going to be first blood going over to the Sejuani. Sejuani's been very powerful. None of this Chemtech stuff. But I may have gone too hard because we kind of want other things. Other than that, as Deft is ulting once again. Bubble's going to go wide. He flashes over the Tidal Wave and then just gets Wild Growth. That is a 2v2 kill if ever I've seen one. DK, so aggressive here in the bottom lane.
A beautiful flash there from Deft, and now Clid, he can do nothing here. Canyon is also over here. Life very likely to die here if he wants to stick around. The same is true of the tidal wave, because usually the Zeri all-in happens, you know, at level 6 when the tidal wave isn't up for life. He has it this time. He dashes to dodge the bubble, flashes the tidal wave, and gets the additional knockup. Not even necessary there to get the kill onto Viper, as Deft is just controlling this matchup so hard right now. Both strong and weak side, doesn't matter.
And has looked a little bit rougher, like the Cannon from last week. But this is definitely not looking like that version of Cannon, as Canyon does get ulted up here, and they do find a knockup, but that seismic shove just amazing. The scythe, oh my goodness, Showmaker flashing towards Zeka, but the blocking done by Glid here is just beautiful, but he's going to sacrifice his life. That is the second kill, and now DK looking to press further on. DK just gets some mid control, bottom lane completely ignored. Side lane's not exactly a thing that a lot of people like to focus on. Is all out once again available. Catches him out of the hop. A weird angle there, but a good one for the Cassante as he dashes in. Can he find the Q he needs to? He's not gonna. And so once again, the Gnar is going to limp away. The Nature's Grasp not exactly hanging on to anything, but there's the seismic shove. It works out well as Deft. He's going to want a lot of damage now onto Glid as he flashes away. Canyon trying to get in there as Deft gets over the wall. The culling is okay, but not the greatest, but still, Life esports will get out of there. As now Shirley taking some fire.
I mean, no doubt they take this fight, right?
Well, they're going to look for it as Showmaker's going to be avoiding the ult here. Seismic Shove going to deliver Zeka towards them, but Canyon taking so much damage. He's going to go down, but can they win the rest of the fight is the question, as Cannon's going all out. First kill for Deft as he's now free hitting. It's another kill. And that one goes to Showmaker, and now Canna is just waiting in this brush, looking for an opportunity to punish. The rest of the team will be sorting out this Rift Herald. And Glid, I don't know, there was some safety under that turret, but he does get out. Yeah. Ramble smash pretty good, like you say.
Got to be more decisive, and you have to be better coordinated to play a comp like this against a team like D+. You know, this is not a weak team you're playing into. Now they're looking for another wraparound. Zeka has flash and ult. He's got the flank.
Nature's Grasp
here we go.
Going to come in as Canyon. Can he keep himself alive as the Wild Growth going to be used? Deft soaking everything as he finally gets the ult off. He's flashing away as the Nami is going to fall. Viper also extraordinarily low as in goes Kingen, but he stopped immediately. Oh my goodness, it was almost absolutely amazing, but it just wasn't enough. As Life are now routed around this dragon, and now it's going to be Soul Point as well as so much more. Here is a potential ace, but it looks like Zeka should survive. Oh, never mind, as Canna is just terrifying. Doesn't find the Q. Thanks to Showmaker's phenomenal placement of the Unraveled Earth. Oh, it's dicey. As there is some bounty gold going over, as Canna is going to find a whole lot with his all out as well as his Qs. Viper should just be dead here, but Deft is going to go down as well. And that gives the shutdown gold over to Viper. Not a small thing. As now Canyon finding some permafrost onto Cliff, but he's super tanky. As Canyon's like, oh, I guess maybe I'll defect. I'll head towards the enemy base and see what can happen here. As Showmaker's in the bottom lane, I mean, yeah, Canyon's
This is
dead,
significant.
Right?
This is significant because they want to get this Drake, right? And Canyon will be, of course, killed here. He's not going to get the execute, but this delays.
Yeah, Canna doesn't quite have his ulti, but he's ghosting already. Just getting into this pit. Look at this guy. He is so extraordinarily tanky as he drags Clit away somehow. They do manage to secure the dragon, but it's a Gnar that gets it. Pretty crazy. As now Showmaker is going to throw down the wall. Clit should die, although he does run real quick. Kind of keeping himself in it, but might just be a kill going over to Deft as the burst fired to be fired in. But no, it is actually going to be Extendo Beam that locks that one down. And now DK should be able to move towards his bottom lane. Baron's still in hand for another 10 seconds or so. Yeah.
I mean, they're still doing a lot of damage to this Demolish here from Kana, but you still feel great about the siege you have here because look at mid.
Well, they're going to go for the fight here as the all-out is going to be used. Zeka is exhausted, but once again, they take down the Zeri. Beautifully done seismic shove to avoid Kingen as he now crushes forward. There's a massive Gnar as he wipes out the Talia, and now Viper able to free hit. Life esports finally coming alive in this game. They're down a significant amount of gold, and it's not enough to get them back in it. However, Extender Beam coming in as now Canyon throws out the ulti, finds Clit almost by accident, he's thrown into the wall. The tree cannot sip enough sap, although, no he can! He can, and now the nature is grasping, looking for DK. They stand in front of Death.
Here we go.
As he gets snared, but King going to be taking a lot of damage. The Unbound Soul going to bring them back. It's Canyon's turn to be focused. Showmaker going to need to put up a wall and get in here to stop this Baron from going down. Extendo Beam, no joy as Showmaker gets over the wall. Seismic Shove is going to miss as they get into the pit, but Clit secures the Drake. The ult going to be used from Deptor as he tries to keep himself alive. Zeka off to the side. The Soul is going to unbind, and Clid, he's done his job. You're allowed to go down now if you'd like to, sir, but he says no. He would not like that whatsoever. He's heading back towards his base, and they'll go for a reset. So many ultimates going to be used as now Clid throws back Canyon. He gets towards his team, though, as the wall, oh, it is going to separate him, but he Arctic Assaults to get back over once again. Canna dashes forward. Viper dashes away.
Cleanse down now.
Yeah, they are setting up. There's not a lot of cooldowns remaining. Kingen, a big old Naba, and he could find his moment. They dive on in as the Zeri is executed one more time. Kingen finds a Nash. Showmaker is taken down, but no, he holds onto his life, but not for long enough, and it's a double kill for the Nah.
I mean, they just try to push.
Team fighting so well.
Yeah, they're team fighting extremely well, and there's too many threats here. You've got to deal with the Maokai ultimate, you've got to deal with this Yone, but also the Gnar on 3 items here is basically his own AD carry. He's ripping through those health bars. He's got his cleaver online. So difficult to kill him because he went for magic resistance here, so Showmaker can't just pop him, and they're going to push to take out an inhibitor, and maybe even more.
Yeah, they
got the damage.
Yeah, the Baron is still up for another 20 seconds time as well, and maybe that's going to be enough. As now Canyon's just going to walk on forward. He presses his stopwatch button to try and buy as much time as they can, but he sacrifices his life for it. Zeka popping up on the Yone, and these Nexus turrets will not last any longer, and match point will be claimed by Hanwha Life Esports.
What a comeback here in this third game. They're going to take match point, as you say. And the one, really 2 times that were decisive when they were pushing mid and pushing bottom, which were those opportunities HLE sees to come back in the game. Viper out damages Azeri here at 32 minutes.
Into the mid lane, because you've got Sejuani Arctic Assault set up, you've got Wild Growth set up, you've got the Cask set up.
So you're winning, once again, no lanes.
Oh,
there
it happened!
Okay.
Okay, Zeka or Kingen or whoever's going to be playing it.
I think it's going to be Zeka
It
in
should
this
be
case.
Zeka.
Yeah, and now you can put the Gragas topside here against the Jace one more time, and you have the good setup with the Gragas, with the Sejuani, and even with the Wild Growth here to set up for Yasuo to carry this game.
They look so good this time around, and remember, it's match point for them. Get onto the Rift here for game 4. Body slam there from Kingen as well as he drinks the majority of his mana, and yeah, there is a Sejuani waiting in the wings just to see whether they can get any aggression. Is, oh dear, Canyon going to turn up, but can Canna survive is the question. The answer's no, as first blood goes to the Gragas. And now Kingen, we'll see. We'll see whether he actually keeps himself alive. He does, and Canyon just going to try and shove that lane in, but really nicely played from Hanwha early on.
We've got Schrodinger's Scout, we've got Schroeder's Soul, we've got Showmaker.
Oh dear, there's the last breath. And Showmaker gonna have to flash at least. The seismic shove doesn't work. And Kellen turns up a bit late, throws all of his abilities into a wind wall. As far as a combo, as Canyon moves in, Weaver's wall gonna come down as Showmaker gets on in here. This could be a disaster as Viper is gonna find the backline. Showmaker in so much trouble. It is claimed by Canyon, but at what cost?
Why are we forcing
it? The cost is everything. The eye is going to go waiting, and Jace just solo killed by Kingen.
And why are we forcing? Why are we forcing?
Like,
yeah, you don't have
can't do that. You elected to keep Deft Bot.
Yeah, and then over here, looks like a flash body slam.
In the meantime, yeah, to the skies, and Ken is dead.
We are going to watch this, so I think it's a flash body slam here the first time around, which is pretty standard, right? But
yep. Just going to get him. And in the meantime, he's like trying to tell the rest of his team, he's like, yeah, look, I got to kill guys. They're team fighting, though, unfortunately, so not going to be able to communicate that one as...
And then Kana, he's just up here trying to trade aggressively against this Gragas. There's a whole, there's a minion wave there, so I guess he feels pretty good about that, but they have no vision whatsoever. He's killed now a 3rd time. Rod is done for this Gragas here at like 11 minutes.
And Clit is just everywhere on this map right now as DK Setting up for this Cloud Drake. We'll have a look at what the soul is as last breath comes through. Showmaker tries to find the Seismic, but he doesn't get it. Immediate cleanse, but it doesn't matter. He's whipped up in the Cyclone. There's the Drake take, but at what cost is this one going to be? As they get the Polymorph, Cyclone comes in, Viper gets exhausted, and the Wukong flashes on top of him. They've lost so much of their damage, but now Deft is trying to pop up. He flashes over the wall. Sekka, it's a 1v1 of former teammates, and Sekka says no! And we always knew, like, there was always this, like, inkling in the back of our minds that, like, Life Esports were always just going to be a really scary team when it comes to best of fives. And now, Kellen gonna have to flash. There's the knock-up onto Canna, but Zekka is a little bit out of position. TP? Yeah, they do get the TP in as King, and running real fast does just push Kellen into the turret based on the state of the game that we're observing. But already Canyon is on this dragon. He's been pretty good at getting these smites. As DK grouped up as 5, Clid going to make it a 50-50 as King is spotted on the flank. There's the secure of the soul point as Kellen going to get locked down by Zekka, but immediately the exhaust does come through. Canyon keeps himself alive for so long, and Life are not finding this team fight. They're being outranged by D plus Kia, and they've already taken the Drake for themselves. Canyon also finds his way out somehow, and Showmaker, don't overextend. D plus, you've learned this.
He's got to split against the Cyclone. If he gets the big Cyclone angle, that's the follow-up you're looking for.
There's the knock-up, but Canna not going to get engaged on. The Glacial Prison goes wide. Good cast as they knock Kellen into the backline. Zekka is over the wall, gets immediately knocked up. The Wild Growth, but Canyon gets on over. Viper going to be dashing in, but he's stunned up the rocks. Oh no! As Canyon is going to push them away, and this is just going to be soul picked up by DK.
Oh, it is so winnable now, and
well, now they're going to start it off as they do get over that wall. The Rift Scuttler giving them a lot of extra power, and I think that they counted the blue trinkets. We can't see them. And the Baron, oh no, there we go. They do spot this one out. Showmaker can get over there at a moment's notice as Canyon dives forward. They look for King, and who flashes away immediately. Windwall now on cooldown. Can they get into the Baron pit is the question. The answer is no. Clid gonna lock that one up. He gets over the wall though. All right. And Harmwa, they don't want to fight. They just want to take the Baron.
Deft already getting his back online too. This is so close.
Man, it's like money versus Infernal Soul. As Showmaker throwing these threaded volleys through the Elder Drake. Being started up here, these blue trinkets spotting exactly what's going on, but only for a few moments.
It's blocking so much damage here.
Yeah, Showmaker puts up the wall as Viper is completely out of this fight. Clid looks for the Glacial Prison. They dive on top of Canna, who flashes away. Canyon finds the Cyclone, but he's going to have to go Golden Zekka into the backline. They take down the Heimerdinger, and there goes the Jace as well. It's a double. It's Clid. It's taken solo, and Deft will be taking out Hanwha. They will be going to round 2, I have a feeling, Wolf, because this team fight is all them. And the Elder should belong to them as well as Zekka. That's a quadra kill in the team fight.
Oh, Zekka, he played it so well, and Viper's positioning is beautiful. And Canyon, he's got the Flash Cyclone, but he's not going to be able to follow up. He gets the knock-up on the Viper, but he's got a stopwatch. He's got a Flash. And HLE, as you say, are going to round 2. It's been a long time since we have not seen D+ advance to top 4, but they will not be going this season. A huge upset win for HLE.
Yeah, and Zekka knows exactly what number DK need to call. Have a look at that scoreline. Life Esports, they are the 3 former world champions that are going to be progressing this time around. Canyon, Showmaker, and Deft gonna have to wait until summer.
A huge roar through the crowd as HLE will take the win. Life Esports, including the time Deft was on this roster, was on a 16-series losing streak. In this series, Zekka, 13,000 damage done, but it's actually the Gragas who had Death Cap that tops the damage charts.